So there came a challenge. Challenge sent to comic creators across the internet. The challenge was to blog, vlog, A-log, podcast, whatever, about your art day, about things you're thinking about the tools that you use to create your craft. This challenge went out far and wide from the minds of Jersey Droz and Rob Stenzinger of the Lead Into Artcast. For the past few years, many independent creators have come to this challenge to answer the call, discuss their talent, their craft, and their process. They just keep making one big mistake. They keep inviting me to come along. They keep inviting everybody, but I mean still. So yeah, for those of you who don't know what's going on, that's basically the gist of the Art Soundoff challenge. Jersey Drost and Rob Stenzinger of the Lean Into Artcast put out a call to our cartoonists. It's an art challenge. It's like Inktober, Scrapbook Summer, but this one's more about thinking about how you create content and the process you use to go into making that content. So it's a bit different. As is a challenge, it's more about thinking about your process rather than actually creating something. And I've been taking part in this since the second year, and we're doing that again this year. And for those of you who are new to Art Soundoff and new to me and wondering what I contribute to this thing besides a mess, I run a website called, first off, my name. I'm Troy Ackerman, alias Troy A. That's my pen name. Shadowing Tronics, that's my screen name. And I run a website called BW Media Spotlight. It's a website dedicated to how do I forget my own tagline right now? Examining the art of storytelling. The goal is to make myself a better storyteller, find other people who enjoy the same kind of stories that I do, and to discuss storytelling, the goods and bads, the ins and outs, and all that good stuff. So what I bring into it is I'm not just a creator, because I work through articles, comics, and videos. So I make comics. Occasionally I produce videos, but mostly I write articles. But I come in not just as a creator, but as a fan of storytelling and as sort of a critic of storytelling. I review to find good things in bad works, bad things in good works, and just try to bring it all together and try to improve my own skills, try to avoid as many of the same pitfalls as I can. I mean, you're not always going to be able to succeed at that. Sometimes you kind of have to tweak the universe a bit in order to pull off a story. But if I can do it the least amount possible, if I can stay true to the world that I created, even if it isn't necessarily the same as our real world, if I can pull that off and make a good story that makes people come back to it again and again, then I feel like I've had a certain measure of success. So I do a weekly comic strip called Jake and Leon, where the two hosts are two characters. The title characters are basically hosting a skit show. It's sort of a commentary / parody site of things that are going on right now in Hollywood, in comics, in other storytelling endeavors. And it's basically the purpose there, but it's also kind of a way to get me to work on art, to make a comic at least once a week, and to improve my drawing, to maybe experiment a little with an art style or a camera shot or whatever. So it kind of serves multiple purposes. And then, of course, during the week, I write various kinds of articles. There's daily comic reviews. There's commentary, book review. Like right now, I am reading through this copy was given out by the Boards of Education for the city of New York. My dad went to school in New York, and my grandfather was worked for a publishing company. I don't know if he worked for this publishing company that made this, but they actually took the Merry Adventures of Robin Hood and created a 2-volume set. I'm currently in the 2nd volume. At the same time, I think there's a story or two missing, so I may have to go. This story is in public domain, so I may have to go online when I'm done reading this and sort of do kind of a lost chapters portion of this review. And I'll probably be reading this, so I'll probably be doing this throughout the entirety of the Art Soundoff challenge. I do this once a week. And then the rest of the week is various articles, Saturday night showcases where I highlight something specific, an old TV show or something being created online by independent filmmakers or fans or whatever. And then on Sundays is Jake and Leon. And I'm going to do one thing interesting this year. Not Jake and Leon, but one of the other characters in the comic is Max, who's Jake's art buddy. And they do kind of the artwork for like set design or whatever else they would do. Basically, if you have an art team at a real life studio, that would be them. And they're going to be doing their own Art Soundoff in Jake and Leon for the next few weeks. It's a weekly comic, so there'll be 4 of those, including the stuff that I post, because I usually do this on the weekdays, which means I won't be doing another one of these until Monday. But it's basically just me going through stuff that I see, not just from a creative position, but as a fan of these works and as a media critic and as somebody who wants to get better at his own craft. That's basically my approach and what I bring to the Art Soundoff. And I'm sure there other people have their own draws and their own perspectives and things that they can add to the challenge. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what other people do this year. And if you take part in the Art Soundoff challenge, if you want to find out more, you can go to artsoundoff.com or leadingtoart.com/artsoundoff, something like that, and go online and see other people, like go on your Twitter and look for the hashtag Art Soundoff, and you'll see everybody else posting. So if you're going to take part, make sure to if you post it on Twitter, use the Art Soundoff hashtag. I found a couple of sites show channels here on YouTube that were taking part in the Art Soundoff challenge, but I didn't know about it because they didn't put the hashtag in as early as last year, and I didn't see it because I usually I won't do it this week because it's only 2 days in. Maybe next week on the Saturday Night Showcase feature, I will link everybody who's taking part in Art Soundoff. And you don't have to do it every day or every weekday. You can do it once a week, like Jake and Max will be doing. You can do it once a week. You can do it on weekdays, like I'm doing. You can do it every day. You can do it just once the entire month, and you're considered good. You've qualified. You've did something in Art Soundoff. Just make sure to do it before next week so I can post you. And so it's also kind of a way to draw in other people to come see your stuff. So it works that way too. It's kind of a bit of promotion. It's a way to discuss your art styles and art process, and then see what other people are doing. Kind of a way of comparing notes with people you've never really talked to. So that's kind of the fun. I think it's kind of the point of the Art Soundoff, is to get people to think about their art and to discuss it with other people. So that'll be the contribution that I'm making this year to Art Soundoff. And I can't wait to see and hear all the other people taking part and their point of views, their perspectives. I may learn a lot of things. Maybe I even get people to think about something from my end. So we'll see how that works. You only got to do about 15 minutes tops. And I'm about to sign off, so this one is just going to be like me, just over 10 minutes. So it doesn't matter how, so you don't have to like sit here and do like a full-blown podcast. It's kind of a micro podcast, 10, 15 minutes, and it's discuss something interesting to you. There are prompts available. This year I think they're going for a bunch of one-word prompts instead of asking questions, so that should be interesting. I think they took that from the Inktober challenge. So we'll see how that comes out. And so if you take part in Art Soundoff, let us all know, because we would love to find out what everybody else is thinking on our processes, and hopefully I give you something interesting as well through this and through Jake and Leon, well, Jake and Max, taking part in the challenge as well. You can find out my stuff at bwspotlight.com. And until then, I wish you all happy creating, and we'll see you on Monday for the first actual posting, well, first actual topic, which I cannot promise will not be any more rambly than this one was. Sorry.